Just released body cam footage of a police encounter that followed a traffic stop, which you're about to see took place less than 3 weeks ago. The footage appears to show police attempting to stop a 29-year-old called Tyre Nichols for reckless driving. Nichols seems to resist arrest. Then after a struggle and what looks like a very significant beating, Nichols died. Now, Memphis is one of the most dangerous places in the Western Hemisphere where killings are very common. But this videotape and the violence it contains has dominated today's news, so we've asked Fox's Trace Gallagher to walk us through the footage. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, we're going to do this kind of step by step because the video covers two separate scenes, right? Beginning with the initial stop. And remember that Tyre Nichols was pulled over for reckless driving, though the video starts at a point where there is no evidence. We can't see any signs of reckless or erratic driving. But when police officers approach the vehicle, they are clearly agitated about something because they don't go up to the vehicle and ask Tyre Nichols to step out. Instead, they immediately open the door and they pull him out of the car. And they immediately then try to push him down to the ground. You can watch some of this. You can kind of see the process as it goes forward. And in the process, while they are on the ground with him, he is tased and apparently pepper sprayed, with some of the spray getting into the eyes of other officers on scene. The video, as you watch and you count, it goes on the initial part for about 35, maybe 45 seconds before Tyre Nichols actually gets loose and runs away. Let's listen to a part of that.
I'm going to tase you. Get on the ground. Right now. One. Now. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, dude. Damn. Put your hands behind your back. Okay. You guys are really doing a lot right now. Bro, damn. I'm just trying to go home. Man, if you don't lay down, I am on the ground. Put your hands behind your stomach. I got you. Great. I'm not doing it.
You can see he flees. The officers give chase, but they can't catch him. And then they come back to the car. Several minutes go by before another police unit spots and catches Nichols. This is the second scene, right? And the officers from the first scene also then arrive at the second scene. Tyre Nichols at that time was only about a half a mile from his house. And at this point, there is both body cam video and Memphis police video that's from a camera mounted on a light pole that you can see the officers throwing Tyre Nichols to the ground. And then there are two officers who grab Nichols' arms and put them behind his back, and they begin punching him. Another officer at the same time is kicking him. He is clearly unable to defend himself at this time. And then when he's finally placed back on the ground, you can see officers still kind of walking up and kicking him. It's very hard to make out what Tyre Nichols is saying, but we know that he's asking for help, and he's also apparently asking for his mom. Watch. The poll video shows a widescreen perspective of exactly what police are doing and how bad the 3-minute beating was. And then there's the final issue, which is that while Nichols is on the ground, you can see him there. You can also, as time goes by, see other police officers, other people kind of gathering around. There is no urgency in getting Nichols any type of medical help. And the Memphis Police Department has pointed that out. That is part of the charges here. And at this point, it's not just the 5 officers. At one point, maybe 8, 9, or 10 people on scene, and nobody appears to be scrambling for help. The bottom line, it's hard to tell what initial threat there was to police that justified the response. That may come out in court, or what prompted the beating at the second scene. Tyre Nichols, we should note, is 6'3", 145 pounds, with no criminal history. So lots of questions and very damning evidence. It has been compared many times to the Rodney King beating. We can tell you it wasn't as long. We don't know the severity. We do know that Rodney King survived, and Tyre Nichols did not survive. Tucker.
Chris Gallagher for us. Thank you. Well, as we said, that video is hard to watch. Parts of it are brutal. It seems like an abuse of power. You can't kick a man when he's on the ground, handcuffed. Decent people oppose that. Virtually all Americans oppose that. We should also remember that we don't know all the facts here. We've seen a lot of videos